When we lost those Australians in MH17, you picked up the phone and you know, I was there and I saw how dogged you were with Vladimir Putin. Now, we haven't lost an Australian military life, I say yet. This has now been 3 incidents involving the Chinese, 3 very dangerous incidents. I hope we don't lose an Australian military life, but that could be more, you know, good luck rather than good management to date. We find out, though, that the Prime Minister has not rung his counterpart. The Minister hasn't spoken to the Minister for Defence. The Foreign Minister hasn't spoken to the Foreign Minister. It's all been done right down the batting order by bureaucrats to register Australia's disgust at what's happened yet again. What would you do differently?
Well, the problem here, Peter, is that this isn't the first time it's happened. This is now the 3rd time that Australian military personnel have been endangered by the actions of Chinese ships and planes, and we have undoubtedly been acting within our perfect rights in international waters and in international airspace. So these are not the actions of a friend, and what puzzles me is why the government is so keen to roll out the red carpet for the Chinese Premier next month, given that this is how China is currently treating us.
I know you've just come back from Europe. You and I have spoken, and we talked particularly about those UK elections over the weekend and this real division now with these pro-Palestinian, pro-Gaza, pro-Hamas candidates getting up at local council level. It's a bad portent for us here in Australia as well. And obviously that concern that Europe really has about Russia being on the march. They seem more alive to the threats of these times. You know, the sense that it is like the end of the 1930s and we are perhaps here in Australia. Is that a fair comment?
Look, I think it is, Peter. I think that what so many of the democracies engaged in after the fall of the Berlin Wall and this assumption that market capitalism had triumphed in all places for all times, we engaged in a kind of a military, industrial and even cultural disarmament. And what we need to do now is to recover our military and our industrial strength, but above all else, our cultural self-confidence as free, independent, Western democracies with a strong Judeo-Christian tradition.
If you were still PM, Tony Abbott, would you have 3 flags behind you or 1 when you talk about, you know, national identity?
Look, I'm more than happy with the 1 flag that unites all of us. I certainly don't think that the flag of some of us should fly co-equally with the flag of all of us, just as I don't think that we need to be welcome to our own country at every civic occasion. One of the other things that would be different, we wouldn't have these pro-Hamas tent encampments on our campuses. I just think there's been a failure of will and a failure of self-confidence by too many people who should know better.
Good on you, Tony Abbott. I think many of us wish you were still there. Thank you for your time.